The topic of this video is dealing with challenges as a universal concern, how texts engage their audiences and the level of effectiveness in exploring each of the challenges faced. Varies greatly depending on the medium and form used to appeal to specific audiences. Well, that's not a question, is it? That's a statement, but anyway. The first media we're doing is The Black Balloon. The Black Balloon is a movie about a family moving to a new area. One of their sons, Charlie, has an extreme form of autism. Most of the film is about Charlie's brother named Thomas trying to fit in. This becomes difficult when he is cast out by his peers because of his brother's autism. The first obvious technique in the movie is symbolism. The title of The Black Balloon is symbolic of how Charlie is the odd one out. It represents the challenge of being accepted by society. He is the black balloon in the group of bright colorful balloons. A little bit off topic, but what is this? This alternate poster for the movie, it looks like the poster for The Shining. Who made this poster? Another technique that occurs throughout the movie is foley. Foley is the ambience that plays throughout a scene like cricket sounds or the sounds of a supermarket, which adds realism to a scene. The last thing I'm going to talk about is cinematography. There are multiple points in the movie where they use a certain type of shot to emphasize something. There are 2 times in the movie where they use a close-up for emphasis. One where Charlie is fixing the groceries, which draws attention to his disabilities, and one where Thomas has to wear the yellow speedo. Now that is just horrific, which shows his
crippling embarrassment.
Another thing they use is a handheld camera. They use it to portray intensity during vigorous scenes, such as Thomas's birthday party. Oh my god, I just realized that Thomas is played by the villain from The Purge.
We don't want to kill our own. Please just let us purge.
Well, now that we're done with the Black Balloon, let's move on to Snowfall. Pack your snow gear because we're going on a wild ride. First, I would like to talk about the imagery. No, I'm not talking about the pretty pictures. Imagery is how vivid the writing is. An example of this is this excerpt from the site. Snow shattered and spilled down the slope. Within seconds, the avalanche was the size of more than 1,000 cars barreling down the mountain and weighed millions of pounds. Moving about 70 miles per hour, it crashed through the sturdy old growth trees, snapping their limbs and shredding bark from their trunks. Imagery like this makes the reader imagine the scene. Imagery? What's that?
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture.
The next 2 techniques are very similar and have a very similar effect. These are emotive language and modality. Emotive language is when a text uses language that provokes emotion, such as, at first, she thought she would be embarrassed that she had deployed her airbag, that the other expert skiers she was with, more than a dozen of them, would have a good laugh at her panicked overreaction. Seconds later, tumbling uncontrollably inside a ribbon of speeding snow, she was sure this was how she was going to die. While modality is when text conveys an amount of force, such as the slope of the terrain, shaped like a funnel, squeezed the growing swell of the churning snow into a deep, twisting gorge. It moved in surges like a roller coaster on a series of drops and high-banked turns. It accelerated as the slope steepened and the weight of the slide pushed from behind. It slithered through shallower pitches. The energy raised the temperature of the snow a couple of degrees, and the friction carved striations high in the icy sides of the canyon walls. Both of these techniques serve a similar purpose. They both make the text more engaging to read. And that's about everything I can fit in this video about Snowfall, because I feel like this video is going to go on for more than 3 minutes. In conclusion, both texts have very different techniques, but both use them effectively to get their message across. Hey, I didn't die this time. Right? Right? You fool! You waited for an end credit sequence, but it will never come!